Hey guys, I'm back. Um, I got back into iRacing. 3 years off. Took a nice 3 year vacation and decided it was time to get back to it. So obviously that's very exciting, and I'm jacked about it. So without further ado, let's jump into it. What I'm going to be driving, at least for a while, is this lovely FIA Formula 4 car, which is awesome. It's a great car. It's new since I've been back, and um, so far I really like it. I don't have any. I only have about 3 days of experience with it, but what I've experienced, I've really enjoyed. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. It just kind of goes fast, and I like that. This week we're racing at a place called Oulton Park. I have very, very limited experience here. Zero experience on the full track. I have partial experience, small experience on sort of a minified version of the track. And so this week was a week of learning a new track and a new car in a sim I haven't raced in 3 years. And let me tell you, it has gone poorly, or about as you would expect. It's been fun, but I'm way off the pace. The pace is low 1 minute 33s, sometimes into the 32s for the really fast guys. And my pace was something like in the 36s for a while. 3 seconds off the pace is not good. And yesterday I got it into the 35s a little bit more consistently. I was starting to see high 34s rarely. That was like my fastest lap. And this is my third race back. My first race I finished, which was cool, but I finished like in 18th. My second race, I was doing similarly poorly and ended up crashing into a guy who dive bombed me. I know. I'm going to make excuses, and all I know is what I know. But I watched the replay. He shouldn't have done that. It is what it is. That said, Oulton Park, it's very, very difficult to overtake, like almost impossible. And that's why qualifying is really important. So this is my qualifying session. And let's just see how it goes. In fact, we'll just fast forward here a little bit. So lap one went a little bit like this. Now, I was going pretty good here. I felt like I was having a nice lap. Everything was going very swimmingly, and then yeah. So okay, lap one. Let's try lap two. What could happen? So I'll give you a little tour of the track, I guess, while we do lap two of qualifying. This is the start-finish straight. Finish line's right here. First corner is a high-speed right-hander. Kind of throw it in, hope it grips. It does. You can run out pretty wide there. I didn't that time. I'm trying to get a lap in now that I've only got one shot left to do it. Turn two is a left-hander that is very high speed, and that right there is the end of my qualifying session because I can't put this tire into the dirt or iRacing gives me a slap. This caused me some frustration, but what do? I ran wide there because my entry was bad. So lap two, also invalidated. Yeah, so anyway, here's turn three. It's flat out. It's sixth gear. It's basically as fast as you can go, and then you come into the big hairpin. There's tons of camber here, so you can take it really fast, but another high commitment corner. We get these disgusting chicanes that I've crashed into several times, but you got to really throw it, and it's really important to get the exits right because this one in particular exits out onto this long straight, so the exit's really important. This one, the exit, it's really important to try to keep left. I did it okay there because now we have this right-hander that's onto this long straight, so we want to set the corner up for that. And now we're flying again. This lap, I think, was really good. Of course, iRacing doesn't tell me what the time was because I invalidated it, but I felt like I went really good here. Double right-hander at the end of the straight, another high commitment corner. This corner is really awkward coming up here. This is the last corner on the track. You're going to bang it down to third, but the thing is, there's like this crest, and the whole thing ends up cresting into a downhill. So the corner tightens and goes into a downhill, And basically, you just lose grip. So you basically take the latest apex ever. Like, you just wait and wait to turn, and then you keep in tight as long as you can. And even then, it's barely enough. It's really easy to run wide there. So, yeah, so late that I'm even into the dirt. And I really got a nice exit there. I think this lap could have been, I don't want to say something special, but I think it was a good lap. It's a shame that I dipped a tire into the dirt. That is very frustrating. But whatever. So we will be starting in P20th of 22 because we failed to qualify. This is not good. But, you know, stuff can happen. And spoiler alert, stuff does happen. So let's jump ahead to the race and see how the race start goes. And we're off. A little wheel spin, but, you know, whatever. So we're going. We're going to try this view for a little while because I want to be able to see kind of what's going on around me. Tons of guys going to turn 1. Very, very scary stuff. It really is. It's very tense. But this racing league, everyone's so close, and these cars are so well matched. Well, they're the same car, but everyone just feels so well matched that you get these clusters of cars going, and it's pretty scary stuff. But so far, everyone seems to be behaving themselves. This guy puts 2 tires in the dirt, which in front of me, I was like, what are you doing, my guy? And we've got some smoke and a wing and a guy off the track. This little opportunistic fella here, whoa, passed me, but I didn't have much time to process it because as I count it, we have 1, 2, 3 cars there. We've got a guy sideways in the middle of the track here. This green car, I'm not loving his line related to the guy that's sideways in the track, but, you know, maybe we'll see how that turns out for him. This guy appears to be driving directly toward the wall on grass. Grip is not optimal on grass, so we'll see how that turns out for him. And we have this fellow who also is on the grass, but looks like he might escape a lot of the danger. So let's just see what we get. Now, I still have some sanity, so you should see here, well, I've got full throttle on here, but I'd like to hope that that stops pretty soon. Yep, I get out of the throttle. I get onto the brakes because this isn't getting better. Did green car survive? Oh, no. Green car did not make it. He seems to have made things worse for himself. Purple car did manage to get it turned, so I take it back, purple car. You've got it under control. And we're just going to slowly chop through here, through all this chaos. I don't know what happened to this guy, but I don't care. I went around him, which was a little brave and a little opportunistic. But I just learned a corner before that you have to be opportunistic if you want to see something happen here. So that is how lap 1 went for a lot of folks. And, yeah, just driving our lap here. No big drama here. So far, we've got a gap ahead of us. Not sure what it looks like behind, but quite certain I'm running for my life yet. No one behind me at the moment, so we're just going. I'm trying to stay calm, trying to breathe, get my adrenaline back down. That's a lot of stuff happening there, and adrenaline really makes me make mistakes. So trying to calm down, trying to just run decent laps. And as you can see, I am catching these guys. Like, that feels good because I have been so slow, and it feels nice to see, like, okay, we're catching a little bit there. So for the moment, I got to, you know, that's lap 1. We'll go ahead and see. We'll come back when there's something else is going on. Okay, so a bit later into lap 1, just a couple corners later, I get a monster run on this guy to the point where overtaking him is just a matter of driving around him. So I figured I have to do it. And that actually would come back to be maybe a little bit of a theme of this video because the guy that I just passed, okay, you have to appreciate this from my standpoint. When I qualify, I'm 17th out of 22. When I don't qualify, I'm 20th of 22. All that tells me is that I'm slow and kind of unreliable, which means everybody around me, I assume they're faster. That's not as fun in racing. You like to be like all big, oop, there goes another one. 2 guys, oop, there, yeah, no, that's not going great in the chicane. But you like to think you're the fastest guy. The reality is you're not always, and I saw this, okay, you can't see him at the moment, but oh, there goes another one. Damage from the chicane, I think. But you like to think you're the fastest, but the reality is these guys that are around me, I assume they're all faster than I am. And you can't see him in this shot, but I could see him in my mirrors. He is not far behind. Let me try to rotate the camera. Can I do that? Oh, yeah, here we go. Chopper view. He's right there. He's been right there the whole lap. He's right there. I passed him, and he never gave me any room to breathe, right? So what do I do? Well, it's a 20-minute race. We're on lap 3 now. Look at him. He's trying to get around me. Like, for me, I'm thinking to myself, you know, I think I'd rather him be ahead of me, especially at this phase of the race, or, you know, whatever. Like, at this point, I just want to finish. I want to get more laps in. If he was ahead of me, that would not upset me, not in the slightest. So what I figured was, if he shapes for a move, or if I make a big mistake, I'm just going to let him have it. That might have happened right here. I might have chickened out within a lap. Let's see. Nope, I got back in front of him. So, you know, we're still going, and he's not giving me any room to breathe. But it's super hard to pass here. So, you know, he's chasing me, and I'm not getting away. Now he shapes for a move here, and I just hit the brakes early. And I'm like, all right, dude. I kind of had to take the corner, but I'm like, you can have it. So I gave him the position. And this set up something pretty cool to come back to, because we're not going to watch it all, but I spent the next 6 or 7, I spent the next laps chasing him, right on his ass, like doing the same thing that he was doing to me, just following him, and we were making time on people. And that's kind of a big deal when you're slow and you want to try to catch up some. So let's go ahead and run this forward a little bit and see what next interesting thing we can talk about. So here we are a little bit later in the lap. I'm still on chopper view. And we had just started to catch up to a guy. And this gave me a lot of hope too. I'm thinking, okay, I let this guy past me, but if he's fast enough, he'll help me go forward. I've got the slipstream. This is all good stuff. So, yeah. All right, so let's, you might have also caught in the back of the shot, there is somebody behind us too. So I'm having to be nervous in both directions, but let's just see what we can do. All right, so it's been a couple laps. I jumped it forward. We're on to lap 7 now. I think we're on lap 5 the last time I was checking in. And we've passed a couple of ailing cars that were just going slow. I'm not sure what happened to them, but we're doing low 35s, which I think is excellent. I mean, that's my pace really, is like mid 34 to high 35 is what I currently consider kind of my pace. It's also been really heartening to see that sometimes the gap would open and then I'd catch him back up. But basically I'm thinking, okay, I'm about the same speed as this guy, but I'm happy. Let's just keep driving. What could go wrong? That could go wrong. He slid, and I can't believe this, but the game decided to tell me that I crashed into him. Now, I don't know about all that. Look, this is me turning to get out of his way. I don't think I crashed into him. I didn't take any damage, which is the most important thing. If I've got to bonk him, then so be it. He slid in the middle of a corner. I tried to avoid. Didn't work out. But that is the end of our friend here. We're going to go ahead and start driving. I do think he gets going again, and maybe we'll see him again later. I'm not entirely sure. But now I've got a big gap ahead of me. Oh, rear chase. There we go. I've got a guy right behind me, and I was getting the sense that this guy might be quite fast. But considering how things were going, I wasn't entirely sure I should just let it by. I was kind of thinking maybe I should just try to hold on to this position. I also figured we were getting late in the race, which we are. It's a 20-minute race. We're on lap 7, which means we're about 14 minutes in-ish, 13, 14 minutes in. Not quite. I didn't know what lap we were on. I felt like we must be getting late in the race. I was begging for the race to be almost over. I've got a good position here. I'm in 6th place, by the way. If you haven't been counting how many cars blew up in front of me, I've gone from 20th to 6th. I'd be very happy with 6th. I'd be happy with 7th, though, too. So if the guy behind me decides he wants to get feisty, I'm probably just going to let him go and be really happy to take home a position that, frankly, I only earned by virtue of staying out of trouble. So it looks like we're catching up some other cars. Driving a nice lap here. Nothing too crazy, but this is the first lap I've had without somebody directly in front of me. And that made me nervous, actually, because you get in this mentality of, am I just matching his pace? Am I legitimately chasing him? Is he slowing me up? You don't really know. Is the slipstream giving me such an assistance that's the only way I'm even able to keep up? Now I've got no slipstream. I'm just driving, and I have to put down good laps because, you know, the guy behind me is still behind me. He's not really getting a lot closer, but he's not falling away either. So right now it's just trying, and it looks like I'm catching the guy up ahead. This was a little scruffy. I was quite displeased with myself here. The adrenaline's starting to run high again. That was a 34.2. That's a pretty tidy lap. In fact, at the time I set that, ignoring the fact that I did dip 2 wheels in the dirt, which did not speed me up, that, I believe, was my personal best, fastest lap, including qualifying and everything. That was my fastest lap. So this lap, I mean, I'm just chasing this guy. We'll go ahead and zip forward again and see if anything else interesting happens. We're here on lap 9. We'll come back when something else happens. So I'll resume here. As you can see, the guy behind me is closer. We're at the start of lap 10. Lap 9 just finished, I believe. And the guy behind me is getting closer. Meanwhile, in front of me, I got a car, kind of a distant. But let's just watch this lap. This is my fastest lap of the race. I'm still wide of that apex. That's a really hard one. You really got to get in narrower than that, but it's pretty tough to get the car to do that. Here, though, that's lovely, getting onto the curb like that. That's about as wide as you can do that. Any wider, and they'll give you an off track, but I did not get one. This corner, you want to try to go as fast as you can, but keep to the left because you want to be as far left for this. This big hairpin. This one, you just sort of feel it out. I think I carried a lot of speed there. Felt good. It looks like I'm kind of catching up the guy in front. I am getting a distant slipstream from him. Early on the throttle out of the chicane, or as early as I can go. That was about as good as I do it, frankly. Come up here, about the 50 board, get slowed down. Poke of the gas in the middle of the chicane just to do it. I actually ran really wide there, but I made it work. Tires starting to fail a little bit allowed for a little more rotation in that final corner, so I was able to get on the throttle nice and early for this. And late on the brakes here, but I did get it into the first apex, flat on the throttle through the second, all the way out to the curb, which is good. And then one corner left to figure out. Late on the brakes. Look how much I caught the guy. And I still managed to get it slowed down and get back on the throttle. Clean lap. And that's one of the really cool things. It's one thing to do fast, but if it's fast and clean, 133.9. My fastest lap to date. And I did it mid-race with a guy chasing me, which, by the way, oh, he's way back there now. So we took some time out of him. And that really bolsters the confidence, you know. I'm actually keeping up with these guys. And then I did that. I put my tire in the dirt. That was a very stupid move. And I'm going to lose a bunch of time. I was busy maybe patting myself on the back a little too hard for my fast lap, but so this is a focus up moment. And then I went deep into the corner. The tires locked up a little bit, just a little lockup, and I just was making sure that I get the car stopped. And let's check on our friend behind again. Oh, well, look at that. He's right there again. So, like, there's no time to rest. These guys are fast. They're fast every lap. They're consistent, you know. When I go really fast, I'm a little faster than them. When I go my normal speed, they're faster than I am. So this is a battle, and I'm sweating. You know, this is lap 11. I think there's going to be, I would imagine, 14 laps maybe. We don't have many laps left. And I do know that I can be quicker than this guy sometimes, this guy in front of me. And the guy behind, it's hard to overtake here, so I just got to manage him, you know. See if any opportunities present themselves and just go from there. All right, well, let's fast forward again until see if something interesting happens, and we'll catch up there. All right, we didn't pause for long. This is lap 13, and it's the final lap of the race. And most of this race, I've been extremely conservative. I was definitely telling myself, whatever you do, don't make any major mistakes. Obviously, it would be a travesty to crash here. But I also, this guy's like right there. I'm 2/10 behind him. Oh, we got a crasher over here. That puts me into P5 officially. Always nice. This guy's right here, and I'm quicker than him. Like, clearly, look at this. I could get this guy. The challenge now, though, is overtaking is almost impossible. It's extremely risky if you do it. So, am I going to risk my race to try to get past this guy? I don't know what position I'm in at this point during the race, but I know that it's high up. And my thinking is no, I'll finish behind him if that's what it is, but I'm hoping a little bit of schadenfreude, you know. I'm hoping to see him make a mistake that I can capitalize on. And I give it my all. I chase him as close as I can get and as late as I dare be on the brakes. A little wide there. You can see he picked up a little bit of time there. But I'm thinking in last corner, it's one of the hardest corners on the track. Maybe it's enough pressure. I was a little far behind though, and to his credit, he drove it perfectly. And with that, 20th to 5th. I will happily take that result. And a new PB as far as lap time is concerned, but that's the race over. And it was a really good one. I ended up with 6 points of naughtiness. We had the bonk when the guy in front of me looped in the chicane, and I swear I didn't touch him, but the game says I did, so what can I say? We had run wide at the final corner one time, which is crazy that only happened once. In practice, I swear I run wide 75% of the time at that corner, but I was trying really hard here to keep clean. So one time there, and then one time in this corner here, like turn 4. Really great race, really fun car, really good progress. And I'm going to keep going. This is my 3rd race in this car this week, in the last 3 days. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to make a video every race, but I do think as I keep going, I want to try to make 1 video per race week. So if I hold to that, I will see you back for the next video here in about 1 week's time. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.